Welcome back to Whatever You Need, where the hushed corners of celebrity life become open pages and every private moment can turn into a public story. If you appreciate in-depth, respectful coverage of the moments that make headlines, please subscribe and click Join to support our channel. Your support helps us keep bringing these exclusive narratives to light. A ripple began in Istanbul this week that quickly turned into a tidal wave across social media and the entertainment press. What started as a quiet arrival at an airport grew into a conversation that many now believe might signal the first steps toward reconciliation between two of Turkey's most watched stars. At the center of the story is a visitor whose presence alone was enough to set tongues wagging, Kerem Bürsin, the mother of acclaimed actor Kerem Bürsin, who discreetly returned to Turkey and arranged a private meeting with actress Hande Erçel. The scene was deliberately low-key, as if staged to avoid the glare of cameras, yet it could not escape public attention. Witnesses report that the two women met in a tasteful, intimate setting in one of Istanbul's quieter neighborhoods, a place chosen perhaps for its privacy rather than its prestige. Those who observed the encounter say it unfolded like a conversation between two people intent on understanding one another, laughter punctuated by thoughtful silences, moments when one reached for the other's hand, brief intervals of serious reflection that suggested the topics under discussion were not trivial. For fans who have followed Kerem and Hande's path through tabloids, TV screens, and magazine covers, the meeting read like the opening chapter of a new narrative rather than a mere courtesy call. Several small snapshots and short clips surfaced almost immediately, shared by onlookers and rapidly collected across platforms. In those images, the warmth between the two women appeared genuine. There was no visible strain, no awkward politeness. Instead, observers described an atmosphere that felt healing, a deliberate attempt to rebuild trust, or at least to lay the foundation for such an effort. Insiders close to the family offered interpretations that added weight to what might otherwise have been dismissed as a private exchange. According to these sources, Kerem traveled not just as a curious relative, but as a mediator of sorts, someone who wanted to listen to Hande, to hear her perspective without the filter of rumor, and perhaps to show that the family was ready to open a new chapter. Whether this intention was premeditated or born of a spontaneous decision, those present sensed a seriousness to the visit that went beyond the kind of pleasantries usually exchanged in celebrity circles. In many cultures, a parent's direct involvement in a romantic relationship signals a shift from private affection to public affirmation. It can also act as a stabilizing influence when the couple's story has been subject to intense scrutiny. For admirers of Kerem and Hande, the images of Kerem and Hande smiling and talking at ease were interpreted as a hopeful sign, a moment in which family ties might be helping to mend what pressure and public attention had strained. You, our viewers, always make these stories richer with your perspectives. What do you think? Was this a mother's intervention meant to heal old wounds, or simply a friendly meeting between two adults navigating complex emotions? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and if you enjoy this kind of insider yet sensitive reporting, hit like and subscribe to Whatever You Need. Don't forget to tap Join if you want to support more deep dives like this one. Returning to the scene itself, witnesses reported that the conversation hovered between the light and the grave. Laughter broke through often enough to suggest comfort, but there were also periods when both women leaned in, voices lowering as if to speak of matters that required discretion. A neighbor who later described the meeting to a local journalist said, "It felt like two women laying things on the table, not to create headlines, but to find truth." That last detail, the search for truth, is what many commentators have seized upon. When a parent and a former partner sit down with the intention of clarifying emotional history, the implication is that the relationship in question may be on the cusp of transformation. Naturally, fans immediately set to decoding every gesture and sentence. In comment threads and fan groups, people debated whether Chidem's presence might translate into a formal blessing, a quiet endorsement that would encourage Kerem and Hande to approach a future together with renewed confidence. Others cautioned against premature celebration, reminding hopeful followers that a single meeting, however meaningful, does not guarantee reconciliation. Yet the sheer symbolism of a mother taking the trip, crossing borders for a conversation rather than a photo op, struck many as a brave and significant move. Entertainment columnists did not take long to weigh in. Some framed the visit as a strategic step, an effort to publicly demonstrate unity, family values, and seriousness at a time when speculation had dominated the narrative. Others treated it as a more intimate, human moment, a mother showing care for her son's emotional well-being by engaging with the person he once loved. Both narratives gathered readers and both fed the larger cultural appetite for stories where personal decisions intersect with public life. Observers also noted that Chidem's choice to meet away from the most crowded districts, and in a setting designed for privacy, suggested respect for boundaries. She reportedly arrived without fanfare and left without issuing statements, allowing the images of the encounter to speak for themselves. In an era where controlled publicity often follows celebrity when they step out in public, the discretion exercised in this case read as deliberate. Those who know the family suggested that this was not meant to be a spectacle, but an attempt at genuine communication. Right now, no official statement has been issued by Kerem Bürsin or Hande Erçel. Both remain silent as the public speculates. Their refusal to immediately comment has become its own statement. By not rushing into public declarations, they preserve the possibility of letting private matters unfold on private terms. That choice, to keep the details shielded for now, only fuels the conversation further. People ask, will this meeting be the precursor to a public reunion, a collaborative project, or simply a step in the delicate process of reconciliation? At Whatever You Need, we strive to treat such moments with nuance and respect. Celebrities are human, and family interventions can be gestures of healing rather than headline fodder. If there is one lesson to be drawn from Kerem Bürsin's discreet journey, it is the reminder that sometimes the most consequential moves are those taken in quiet rooms, in conversations that cannot easily be captured in a single photograph or a viral clip. Thank you for watching, and remember, here at Whatever You Need, we don't chase gossip for gossip's sake. We tell the stories that matter to you with empathy and care. Keep the conversation going, leave a comment, share your opinion, and support us by subscribing and using the join button if you can. Until the next update, stay curious and keep your hearts open to the quiet transformations that sometimes, unexpectedly, change everything.